We got the AVIGA or AVIGA by AVID today. Here we go with that even flow. What's going on, nerds? Mark here, back with a new tech video, and today we have a new brand I have not heard of, at least personally. I'm not sure if they're new. I think they're just new to me. Not sure if it's pronounced AVIGA, AVIGA, or yeah, but thank you, AVID, for sending this one out. I wouldn't say I'm like a audiophile, but I do like audio, so it's always fun to try out these types of products. First off, packaging, very lame. Obviously just cardboard, but it's most likely just going to be probably online oriented products, so whatever, I guess. But let's get this thing open. There is a USB version of this, but I usually have like a little amp laying around, so I did choose to get the wired, and it's just a normal egg carton inside. But here we go with the unboxing. Oh, it's falling out. Okay, there's nothing in here, I think. It's a little piece of paper. Is it a sticker? It's not a sticker, it's telling me to stop. All right, that is everything out of the box. On the ground. This is the headset. First look. Your typical plastic headset design. I mean, it's got these nice green accents. I think the styling of the device is cool. The leather feels pretty leatherette and typical, but it seems cushy. It seems pretty good, but we'll definitely feel it out when we have it on our head. This is a braided cable. It's got some, it's got some cool like green and black interweave design. So that's actually pretty nice to see, like a little love and care towards color. Usually a lot of headsets just don't have like a little style to them. I think this one's got a pretty decent look to it, while also remaining like not over the top and clean. The boom mic, it seems pretty stiff in terms of going like up and down. But it does feel, it makes some noise. The fact that it like bends easy is nice. Yeah, I like the way it folds in back and forth, but it's a little stiff everywhere else. But we'll, this is all review stuff. We'll get to that for sure. A giant L&R inside of the ear cups. I mean, I could have done without that, but that's besides the point. We have a volume wheel here that's green, which is pretty interesting. I do, once again, will say that I like little things like that. I mean, it feels a little plasticky. It's nothing special due to the price of like 60, 70 bucks. I have to double check that. That's the only button on the headset that I could see are like quote unquote button. Not the most flex. Pretty stiff, but let's see if the cable's removable. Definitely not removable. One of those non-removables, which is not my favorite design because, if I want to use my own cable, if this breaks, I cannot. So I'm shit out of luck, one would say. Such is the cost. All right, first impressions wear test. Little passive sound canceling test on camera. Let's give it a little adjustment here. My ears do sit on the inside, although I do have pretty large ears, but I think most people's ears will sit on the inside of these cups. So it is an on-ear more than an over-the-ear, and it doesn't feel that comfortable in that regard, but the ear cups in the top do feel fairly comfortable right now. I would have to see how it feels over a long session, but the passive noise canceling is pretty decent. It's not the best I've heard, but it is pretty muffled. I can't really hear too much outside of my voice. I can hear my voice pretty clearly. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's absolutely nothing in this box. It's a cable, which is, actually, let's see how long this cable is. Got a little slip knot, I think. Boom. Fairly decent length cable. Maybe about like 4 feet or so, 5 feet. I don't know, something like that. It should get the job done. It's always nice to have a little bit longer of a cable, especially if it's built in. It would be nice if it was longer, but I digress. But nonetheless, that has been the unboxing section of the AVIGA AVID headset. We'll jump right into the review and see if we like this product for the price that it gives us. Pretty cheap price, so let's hope it's a nice product. This has been Mark from Noisy Pixel, and time for that review section.
Is it just me, or are there a lot of new PC hardware brands spouting up? Personally, I'm not sure if these new brands have the wind to maintain long-term exposure against bigger brands here in the US, but that's not to say they won't make sales or that these products are subpar. AVID, a humble headset brand, brings a new release to their product line, the AVIGA, or AVIGA, I still haven't figured that out, gaming headset for the relatively low price of $60. Anyone looking to spend on a budget this holiday might want to consider the AVIGA, but overall, I think when compared to other picks in this price and market, the AVIGA misses the mark in too many areas. I'm going to go with AVIGA for this review, just so you know. Starting off with baseline facts, the AVIGA brings large 50mm drivers with a listed range of 50Hz to 20kHz, and about a medium weight at 0.6 pounds. It does feel light when wearing it and doesn't put too much pressure on the top of your head. The AVIGA works for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC and Mac. AVID says it is not compatible with PS4, but it does work in the controller I had, but wasn't loud enough for my liking, although it's passable. Sadly, the AVIGA is constructed almost entirely of cheap hollow-feeling plastics. Sometimes plastic can be done right, but not here, as this is typical as it gets. I do like the branded accents in green and the visuals on the ear cups, as it doesn't try to be some luxury-looking blacked-out headset. The AVIGA knows its place, and the green add-ons work well. I could have done without the giant L and R letters in the ear cups though. Speaking of green accents, the volume dial, although providing a typical build quality, does allow the user to control gain independently from the PC, which is always amazing. No need to putz around with your internal settings just to save your ears. The headband seems stiff and lacks extra flexibility, so if you are reckless, be careful of obtuse stretching of the frame, as I could see the headband snapping in half here. Regarding the AVIGA's earpads and comfort, I experienced pain on my ears after about 3 to 4 hours of use. A dull pressure pain that wasn't unbearable, but not comfortable. The pain did get worse over time, leaving me to lean the cushion more in my ear for relief. In this case, the over-the-ear design feels like my ears are resting on cardboard, but that's my take. The AVIGA design would work better with an on-ear form factor, as the leatherette pads are fairly comfortable. On the other hand, my friend said he did not feel the inside of the ear cup resting on his ears, which could lead to a less negative opinion on the comfort here, but the testament from AVID to say that the device is for all gamers still leaves me out of the equation. I have no complaints about the headband padding, as I experienced no pain at all during my entire duration of the use during this review. I did find the lack of notches for head sizes minimal, but the device is rather tall already, so maybe there wasn't much of a need for expansion. Eventually, it got to the point where I longed for the review to be over so that I wouldn't have to be in pain anymore. It's just a major design oversight that makes the user hesitate to pick up and enjoy the AVIGA. In addition, I am afraid of removing the ear padding just to investigate the internal design, as the ear pad grip seems abnormal compared to other headsets, and I fear breaking it. Either way, there are more comfortable headsets out there, and the brand says on their website that they don't recommend you taking off the padding. I had similar adverse reactions over the wire length, even more so because the wire is built in. I thought the 5-foot cable would be enough for PC use, but it just wasn't. It's always in the way, and it's rigid. Although I found a lack of high-end presence with some audio clipping, particularly in the S sound, the lack of range in the frequency was apparent. However, the punchiness of the low and mid-range frequencies was great. Steely, loud, and strong. This graciously made up for the high end, as the sound is weighted to have a specific tone. Just remember what I said about the clipping. The lack of balance might annoy you if you are an audio head, and AVID does not provide any software or equalizer. Granted, these audio opinions are under the condition of using a preamp or on-desk audio interface. To give insight into how AVIGA's sound is impacted by the lack of S-sound frequency fidelity, music with heavy use of the drum cymbals will experience a lot of clipping and distortion from what I can hear. Plugging directly into the PC yielded a similar sound tone, but much less impact or attack from the volume, as expected though. Surprisingly, I didn't find the sound difference from amp to PC as contrasting as I had preconceived, so that's a plus. Regarding passive noise cancelling and white noise, at least when plugged into the PC directly, there is no passive fuzz or feedback, which will not go overlooked here and is appreciated. Nothing is more annoying than that gain or fuzz ringing in your ear all the time. Plugging into the front of my desktop also relieves some of the annoyance of the wire being in the way, but I digress here. Designed for esports, the AVIGA performs very well, especially since esports happens in short gaming sessions, so there's no need to worry about ear pain. The sound tone fits right into the predominant tones of games, and there is not much of a shortage of volume output, so thumbs up here.
At least when it comes to PC use, the boom mic, after a little struggle configuring my PC settings, was pretty good. Not clear or crisp enough to use for professional content or video creation, but for a consumer level product, the transmission is loud and clear. Here's a sample of my voice from the boom mic on the PC. Mic test, AVIGA, boom mic test. This is me speaking. I'm going to now raise the boom mic up, so I'm going to bring my voice down, and it's unmuted now, so pretty loud, pretty decent quality, but there's just a lot of feedback. It does depend on the software you're inputting on, but most likely going to be tough to make content professionally with this device, but nonetheless very good and loud volume for consumer level use.
The boom does have flip to mute, but there is no tactile or audible click to know if it activates, which is actually very counterintuitive. Moving the boom up and down is also quite stiff and lacking a fluid feel. The action often requires two hands due to the weight of the AVIGA and the lack of give in the boom pivot point. The boom gooseneck itself is rather bendy, so no complaints there, but it definitely can be longer. It barely reaches the front of my mouth, and the brand recommends to keep it 1 inch away. Once again, I think the AVIGA just isn't made for me. If the AVIGA were comfortable, I wouldn't care about the plastic build quality due to the reasonably excellent sound for price ratio. This shows you how one factor can sway other positive opinions to be null. AVID claims comfort as a major selling point here, and this could be the case for other head or ear shapes as the pads and headband are sufficient. However, the AVIGA doesn't fit my ears right and misses the mark on too many occasions throughout my experience. With no software to customize the AVIGA, poor comfort, a short cable, and other previously discussed qualms, I left this set of speakers on the sidelines. Noisy Pixel is giving the AVIGA gaming headset a C. Maybe AVID performs and sells well in other avenues and markets where audio is needed, but in terms of competing in the consumer gaming space, they have some work to do in my opinion. Thank you for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all of our future content, and I'll see you next time, nerds.
Noisy Pixel.